Hey, so let's break down the Johnny B. Good intro. So I like to start with finger 1 and I slide on the G string from the 6 to the 7. That allows me to grab the B string with my first finger and then my third finger on the 6 and 8. So I've got, and then my first finger lays flat on the 2 thin strings and I slide from 5 to 6, strum twice. So I did that 3 times, and then pinky on the 9, 9, 8, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8. So we've got line 2, lay the first finger flat on the 2 8s and do an 8th note strum with a pulse to it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and super easy. Then take your second and third finger and we're on the 6 and the 7 on the 2 middle strings, and we're going to strum them both and slide up to the 7 and the 8. Leave the fingers where they are, drop the first finger on the B, and then strum the G and the B together. Then drop your pinky on the 8 on the B, then lift your pinky up. And then hit the 5 on the G, slide to the 3, and then on the D, 5, 3. So that whole line was... Then we go to the third line, and I like to break this into 2 halves, each with 5 bends. So we're at the 8th fret on the G string, and we're going to bend it up. I like to use my second finger to help my third finger, and I hit with my first finger on the 6. I do it again. And then after the third bend, I do a 2-note double stop on the 2 6s on the B and the high E. And then I do a bend again and a bend again. So it's 1 bend, 2 bend, 3 bend with the double stop, 4 bend, 5th bend, and hold the note with some vibrato. And then we do 5 more. This time we go 1 bend, 2 bend, 3 bend, 4 bend, and on the 5th bend, we do the double stop and hold a little longer with the vibrato. So that whole line would sound like this. Now we're up to the last line. This is the trickiest one. We're going to do the 8 bend again. This time we come down to the high E and hit the 6. And then we rock the pinky on the 9, 8, 6, and then back to the high E, 8, 6, and here's the 9, 8, double stop, and then we're going to do the second finger slides, the stretch from the 8 slides to the 7, and then a rake. So I dropped my first finger on the 2 6s. I had already slid my second finger from the 8 to the 7, and then the rake, where a strum sounds like this, an arpeggio sounds like this, and a rake is kind of in the middle, where like I'm almost like strumming it and then releasing pressure to make the notes staccato and stop. So the whole thing would sound like... And there's your whole line. So after I did that rake, I went 9, 8, double stop, bend on the 8 on the G, double stop, bend on the 8, double stop on the 8s, double stop on the 6, hammer to the 7, hit the 8, and then we're up to the shuffle in B flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 to the 4 chord right below. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and back up to the 1 chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Over the 5 for 2 full measures, then back to the 1 for 2 full measures. Then it starts again. Atlanta coast to New Orleans, back up in the woods among the evergreens. There stood a log cabin made of earth and wood. There lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read and write well, but he played a guitar just like a ringing a bell. So essentially it's a 12-bar blues, but the normal 12-bar blues is 1 1 1 1 4 4 1 1 5 4 1 5. That's the chord progression. In Johnny B. Good, he goes 1 1 1 1 4 4 1 1, all the same, but then he goes 2 5s in a row and 2 1s in a row. So what I did in the chart in the notebook page was I took the 2 1s that are at the end and I put them at the beginning so that people that were coming out of the intro that couldn't start singing right away would have 2 measures to vamp on the chord before the singing started. But if you can come out of the end of the intro and go down in Louisiana, go for that. If you can't, you can do the deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. So if you need the crutch of the 2 measures, take it before the vocal. But Chuck Berry comes right in. And there it is. B flat is the key. The shuffle right over here is on the B flat chord. And then the E flat chord is this guy. And then E flat, E, F is the 5 chord. So there's your 12-bar blues in B flat. And B flat minor pentatonic right at fret 6, 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 will work over all those changes. So something else that's fun to practice is to do a measure on the shuffle and then a measure on a riff and keep the form. So we got deep down in Louisiana. And there you go. Have fun.